Big Well in the building.
Yo, what's going on? It's D-Man, you already know. Bringing to you some NBA 2K14 My Career. This is going to be the last video I post on my point guard. Now I'm going to go back to my small forward, trying to get through the playoffs, and then I can come back to my point guard. But in my last video, I was talking about tweets that need to be made to animations in NBA 2K15, or tweets that I would like to see in NBA 2K15. And now I want to talk about gameplay versus player behavior. Now, a while ago, I put out a tweet saying, I hope in NBA 2K15, the mid-range game and the post-game returns to NBA 2K. And really, I made it look like it's 2K's fault, but I want to say it's 50-50. Part of it is the mechanics in 2K, and the other half is just how people are, how people play the game. So in this video, I want to go over examples and solutions to solve this problem. So first, let's backtrack all the way to NBA 2K11. And of course, I'm talking about crew mode. Now in crew mode, it was a whole different play style. People utilized the mid-range jumper. People utilized the post game. Now I was thinking, what can 2K do to make this happen in NBA 2K15? So let's jump to the park, because the park is the mode I played the most. And on the park, there's no such thing as too deep. Everybody has strange range, and everybody is Blake Griffin mixed in with Michael Jordan mixed in with Dominique Wilkins. Everybody is a dunker. So what can we do to fix this? What can we do so people can shoot mid-range jumpers? Well, one, we need to tone down the success rate of three-pointers, because really, like I said, there's no such thing as too deep. They're going to fall, and it's the same way in my team also, but on the park it's really bad. So maybe if we tone down the success rate of three-pointers and make people work for better shots, which is the mid-range jumper, maybe people will say, okay, let's take mid-ranges instead of just chunking up threes all game, because 2K was made that way. They know the three-pointers are going to fall. Now, another thing is post moves. How can we make the post moves more relevant in NBA 2K15? Well, the main reason why people don't go to the post is because people reach and spam steals. And of course, I'm talking about the park mainly here, but in my team, you don't see a lot of people go to the post either. You see a few people do it here and there, and it's always good when you see people do it. But at the park, nobody goes to the post. And the post is a big part of the NBA. And I think that people would go to the post more if there was a real penalty for spamming the steal button. Because like I said, that steal button is the only reason why people don't go to the post. There's no reason to. And speaking of steal spamming, that's another problem. That's not a gameplay mechanic, but it's just player behavior. That's players just abusing the game. And this is why people love crew so much. Or at least this is why I love crew. This is why I want crew back. I mean, it was cool to play in your customized gym and your customized jersey, but the main thing for me was just there were rules. On crew, people weren't spamming because you would foul out. And even if you didn't foul out, if you were still spamming reach-ins, and eventually the other team would be in the bonus and they would get free throws. And that's the problem with the park. There's no real penalty for people playing the way they play. If they throw up a bad shot, no big deal. That bad shot will go in. If they want to spam steals, no big deal. There's no free throws for steal spamming. There's no fouling out. Well, you can't foul on the park, but it's 7 fouls out of 21 points. So, of course, nobody's going to foul out. It's no penalty for bad players, and really there's no reward for people that try to play straight up. Really, the park encourages bad play, and that's just how I feel about it. You have people going left, right, throwing up fading three-pointers, and never going to the post, mainly because 2K is built this way. So a lot of these player behavior things, it's hard to bring up because really how can you fix it? And by that, let me just give you an example. When I play my team, or when I see other people play my team, they always complain about the charge cheese. And really, it's something to complain about because nobody does that in the NBA. Nobody stands right behind you when you're about to inbound the ball just to take a charge, you know what I'm saying? So really, what can 2K do about this? Because they can't take out the charge function in the game because, I mean, what type of sense does that make? You won't be able to take charges when you really need to. Now, you could disable it for a certain amount of time off the inbounds, but even then, that sounds kind of sketchy, so I really just don't know. Now, granted, 2K does allow people to do these things, but that doesn't mean that people just have to go and exploit it every chance they get. That's why it's really just player behavior that ruins the experience of NBA 2K. And it's funny because player behavior is a hard thing to monitor. Going back to NBA 2K11 crew mode, everybody abused hop steps and Euro steps. Now, if you didn't play NBA 2K11, I know that sounds kind of weird, but trust me, that was the cheese back then. Hop steps and Euro steps. And now, when you play NBA 2K, nobody does hop steps and Euro steps anymore because 2K adjusted the game that way. But the problem is people adjust, people adapt. People always want to win, and people will always find that new cheese. So that's the hard part also in trying to contain bad player behavior, because people will always find an exploit. That's what's going on right now. People say, oh, we can't hot step or Euro step anymore, but we can shoot threes and just steal spam or charge cheese now. Now, I'm pretty sure even if 2K fits the problems with the player behavior right now, something else will come up. And that's the challenge for the developers, not just NBA 2K developers, but just all games across the board. They put these things in their game, and of course when they test it, they play the way the game's supposed to be played, so of course they're not going to find these problems. But once you release the game to the masses, that's when all the cheese and exploits comes out, because people are assholes online. That's just how it is. So anyways, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Peace.